So made these slings for getting the sides off my truck. Way overkill for that. And made a little video about it, just making the wire rope slings. And anyway, some mouth breather in the comments let me know how stupid I was for building them this way. But I didn't mention this in the video, but part of the handy part about having slings like this is the wire rope's rated for lifting 1,400 pounds. So I can use them for other stuff. It's not just for that bed. So kind of multi-purpose. Anyway, what I've got here is this sprayer. We're getting ready to fertilize my hay grazer field. As you can see, it's kind of stuck. There's a whole bunch of crap in here, and I could excavate all this to be able to get to it with the tractor, you know, or the other direction. But I don't really feel like it, and I've got this cool attachment for the front end loader on my tractor that I'll be able to park kind of over here somewhere and then reach over all this stuff and pick this thing up out of here. So I've got my homemade wire rope slings here and just a regular strap on this side. And yeah, that should work pretty good. So it's a lot better, this sort of thing, than a chain, because you just have to wrap a chain around it, you know, and then hook it. Then the chain would try to come unhooked every time, you know, because I'm here by myself. And I could call somebody to come help me, you know, hold the chains on. But I've got this. I don't need anybody else for it. It's going to be easy, I think. So anyway, I'll get this set up and we'll see how it works. Okay, so the tractor. Cool boom thing that extends out quite a bit more, but I don't need to. Let's see what happens here. Hole under there. Been sitting for a long time. I haven't used the sprayer in a long time. Something's been living under it. That worked out perfect. It even spun it around the right way. So now once I'm ready here, I can just back right up to it. No, I need to get some pallets to set it, make it taller. Otherwise I won't be able to get 3-point on it. So okay, I got pallets over here. I'm gonna grab them. There you go. It's Tough Parts Fab. The guy that makes these is actually a local fella here in Oklahoma, Sapulpa, the same town my folks live in. So kind of cool. Found them on Marketplace, and it's pretty affordable. So things come in handy a couple times. Bad news for Sonic. Look at that. Hit a deer the other day. Just destroyed that. Poor Sonic. But anyway, so hay grazer, I didn't film putting this in the crop out here. I'll show it to you real quick, because I just can't physically, I can't run the tractor and the camera at the same time, you know, trying to keep my rows fairly straight, not necessarily straight, some of them are curved, you know, but trying to keep them the spacing right, not leave skips and stuff. So anyway, I can't record while I'm doing that, but we did it though. We put this hay grazer in, which is it's a sorghum Sudan grass. It's kind of like a Johnson grass, sort of the same type of thing. I don't know how well you can tell, but if you can see the rows here, you know, you put this in with a drill. Yeah, you can see that seed drill, planter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you can see there's kind of a bare patch here. Didn't really come up as good right here for some reason, but just soil profile, I suppose. But yeah, so it's kind of like a Johnson grass, a little bit different, but similar, same kind of family of grass. But yeah, so this whole 24 acres here, we're going to be put some fertilizer on it, and we didn't want to do just the standard, you know, putting down nitrogen prills like everybody does, and it kills the health of the soil. It's just not ideal, and you got to do it every single year, over and over and over again, and it'll never help the actual soil profile, and so you never really gain. You just keep buying fertilizer. I've got some different stuff we're going to try out this year. Let me just show it to you. It's in the back of the truck. But it's liquid applied fertilizer. So we'll see how that goes. We did some soil tests, and then we're fertilizing based on those recommendations. So we're not just shooting in the dark here. We're actually trying to be somewhat scientific about it. And yeah. So we got, I think, 4 different products that we're going to mix in there. And it's supposed to actually improve the soil profile, not just boxes, not just, you know, help the plants out this year, but we got this liquid carbon here. See the label on that. Calcium, that was one of the things we were fishing in. And then this stuff here called Hay Now. So this is like a NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and K, potassium, and phosphorus, P. Yeah, let's see, NPK. And then this, just a triple tin here. So anyway, we're gonna wait until this gets up about 8 inches tall or so, and then we'll go out there and spray that on. So anyway, that'll be probably next week. This stuff grows fast. It's one of the cool things about it. You know, it's a week old right now, and you can see we're already, probably 4 inches in places across the field, probably an average of 2 inches tall. So this last year we did this same field, same product in the same field, but we didn't use the same fertilizer, but we were able to cut it 3 times. And then I turned the cows out on it. They grazed on it for a month in December, which means I didn't have to start feeding hay until like worked out till like January before I was feeding hay. And so I've actually still got a huge pile of hay, which is first. Never finished a year with that much hay left over, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I was really happy with it last year. It's pretty cool. So this stuff, it'll get about 40 inches tall, and it's got a really high sugar content, a lot of protein in it, and yeah, so it's really good forage. The cows will love it. So if you put a bale of grass hay out and then put a bale of this hay grazer next to it, they don't even know that grass hay's there. They'll go eat that hay grazer first. And I've even seen them kind of, you know, almost turn away feed. You know, you go dump feed out in a trough or something, but if you just put that hay grazer out, they sometimes aren't even interested in the feed. They just want that hay grazer. They like it so much. It's really good for them. It's what we wean our calves with. So, and then feed them until they're big. So I'm getting ready to go spray the fertilizer on our hay grazer over here. Not super happy with this stand this year. It is what it is. As you can see, tractor's not sitting level, so I need to park it somewhere a little bit more level. I'll put a mark on the tank, and these tanks are graduated. All right, there we go. Let's see, there's some numbers on here, but I think I'll go ahead and put like a Sharpie mark on there or something. And then out here in the middle of this pasture, so whatever, I've on Google Earth, I've mapped out basically a line that it's 770 feet. So that's 23,100 feet, square feet, that is, of coverage per pass. So if I go down there, turn around, come back here, turn around, go back and forth, I'm gonna do that like 5 times, something like that. And that's gonna give me a good idea of how many gallons of just water. That's all it's in here, is just water. It looks kind of dark, but just water. That's how many gallons per acre I'm putting down. I can figure that out from there. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that real quick. So probably 5 passes, and then we'll stop and we'll see how many gallons we've used and yeah, we'll figure it out from there. Turns out I don't have a Sharpie handy. We're sitting at right at about 800 gallons. Okay, so that'll be close enough. So once I know the distance that I've driven and the swath, it's a 30-foot swath, by the way. Measured that too. I went to this mark, I put the gravel over to that oil jug I just threw down over there, had it handy. So anyway, it actually measures about 35 feet, but the ends are kind of, I don't know, wispy. So I'm gonna call it a 30-foot swath. We'll have a little bit of overlap. And then my neighbor has a cool GPS thing. I think they actually called it DPS. Anyway, I can set, I can start from one point, drive a ways, and then set that as the end point, and then set the distance for the offset, and it's got some little lights on it. I'll show you later, but yeah, we'll be using that. So I'm just gonna go drive for a little bit with a certain gear ratio, and we'll see how many gallons per acre that puts down. I'll compare that to what I need to be putting down, and then we'll have to try this 2 or 3 times probably, and yeah, we'll get the mix right for the fertilizer that we're putting down. All right, so for this calibration, I just need 2 targets to kind of aim for. So I'm going to aim for the flag on my rake there, and there's a power pole over there. I don't know if you can see that. Windows 30, that power pole right there. I'm aiming for that. So I'm going to go down there. I'll turn around kind of as sharp as I can, and then I'll head back and I'll be looking at the flag on this rake. I think I'll be able to see it from over there, and that should be, per Google Earth, should be right at about 770 feet, and I'm accounting for the 15 feet on either side of the tractor, that as I make the turnaround, right, because it's a 30-foot swath, as I make the turnaround, that swath is coming across there. And so I've sort of accounted for that in my measurement, and that's going to give me roughly the acreage that I'm going to cover. Like I said, I'm going to do it like 5 times, and this is just water in the tank. It's just water back here. There's no product, there's no chemical in it, there's no nothing, no fertilizer, just water. And once I know how much of this I'm putting down, I may have to do it a few times, but then I can adjust the mix rate for actually fertilizing the field. So, all right, I'm gonna get started here, and well, yeah, we'll just go from there. We'll take a measurement, figure out how many gallons per acre we put down of water, and then that will inform me for later. All right, so this is my first turnaround, so this is my 3rd pass across the ground. See, I've got my tracks in front of me, so now it's easy. And I'm more or less aimed at that power pole over there. And so I made 1 pass this way, 1 pass the other way. And then this is my 3rd pass this way. I'll make 1 more pass the other way. And then we'll stop and measure the water, and we'll figure how much water we used. So this is so how much I'm putting down per acre, and again, right now it's just water, but how much I'm putting down per acre depends on the speed that I'm going, because the pump's going to stay the same no matter what, unless it gets clogged up or something. But and I'll stop periodically to check that. But my speed is sort of the factor, right? So how fast am I driving? Probably a little close here, actually. Okay. So you see, I'm back in my tracks. So if I go faster, I'll put down less per acre. If I go slower, I'll put down more per acre. This is kind of the speed that I would like to be going. 8.2 kilometers an hour. This is a comfortable speed for that field. It's pretty smooth, and so if I can just run at this, basically at 2,000 RPM, if I can just run this the entire time, then it's real easy on the tractor, real easy on everything. So see that spraying back there? It's doing its thing. As long as I'll maintain a straight line. Like I say, that'll be a lot easier when there's a GPS mounted right here, and it just has lights that tell me which way to drive. And yeah, it tells me my offset. In this case, I'm just doing circles because it's just calibration. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 will be my next pass, and 5 on my way back. I'll shut it down, and then we'll go measure and see how much water we sprayed, and then from there we should be able to figure out roughly how many gallons per acre we put out. Here's my turnaround. Missed it by a little bit, that's all right though. And now I'm back in my track from before. So, okay, we'll finish this round, and then we'll go do a little bit of math and figure out how much water we sprayed per acre. I'll get a measurement of that and we'll calculate that. So there's 231 cubic inches per gallon. So I can measure this in length and width, and then the height there, and then I can figure how many gallons I actually used. And then there was 23,100 square feet per pass times 5 that I just covered, and there's 43,560 square feet per acre. So with all those numbers, I'll be able to figure out how many gallons per acre I just put down, and then that matches the math on the product level. Shut that down for a minute while I take some measurements. So that will allow me to figure out how many gallons per acre of water I was just spraying. And then from there, we'll determine if that is the correct application rate for this particular chemical. They have a application rate that they have specified. It's like 2 quarts per acre or something like that. For one of them. For one of them is 2 quarts per acre. One of them is, or the other 3 rather, are 1 quart per acre, if that makes sense. So anyway, we got a little bit of math. Anybody that thinks that you're not going to use math in real life, like I said, here it is. We got to convert cubic inches of water to gallons, and then acres to square feet, and then distance with a spread. And anyway, math. Yeah. So, all right, let me work on that real quick. I'll get back to you. Alrighty, some rough math here. So we used 10,488 cubic inches of water, roughly divided that by 231. That is 45.46. No, I'm sorry, 45.4 gallons. And what we covered ended up being 2.65 acres. It was 115,500 square feet. That works out to 17.13 gallons per acre that I was putting down at that speed. Now, the chemical, not chemical, I guess it's a chemical, but the fertilizer that we have, their application rate, what they would prefer to see is an application rate of 20 gallons per acre. So just kind of some rough math. That means that I need 480 gallons of product, and I can do that because this goes to 250 gallons here. What I have to figure out though is if I can adjust my speed, different gear ratio, something, so that I increase my gallons per acre to closer to 20 gallons per acre. 17, that's not bad for first attempt. And honestly, I could actually probably just reduce the RPM on the tractor down to, say, maybe 1800. And I'm losing the light here, but we might try that tomorrow. It'll be Friday or Saturday before I actually need to put this down. So yeah, if I reduce the RPM, that ought to reduce my speed. And we're gonna shoot for 20 gallons per acre because that's what the manufacturer wants. So anyway, we'll do this a time or two again and dial it in until we get to a application rate of 20 gallons per acre, and that will be our speed limit. So, all right, see you then. All right, this is that GPS thing. See the yellow lines mean I'm going into straight line. Yellow line down at the bottom means I'm on my track. See, it bounces around just a little bit. The red and green ones there. It's just because the tractor's bouncing around. Almost done with my second row here. See, hay grazer this year sucks. It didn't hardly come up at all. A little bit over there. There's a few spots that came up decent, like that little corner, but I got off a little bit there. I'm paying attention talking to you guys. Anyway, once I get to the end of the field here, this is as fast as I can go for my application rate. It's kind of boring.